Wow.
I just know that, that there's so much fear and panic ahead because people don't realize that America is the nation that will lead the world into one world government, into the mark of the beast. The beast is going to be here.
All the
and
technology.
They don't expect it. And so anybody, like a George Bush, can rise into power, deceive the world. He's deceived how many millions of Christians who are supposed to be alert, who are supposed to be watching for this person coming, and they're being deceived by the very person they're supposed to be watching.
I'm not sure he's deceived Christians. I think he's deceived.
Yeah, well, Christian's the general term. I mean.
No, I don't. Think about it. All the people that are on the, I guess, outside the the quote religious system, Church of Satan, which they label Christianity or whatever, Judaism or Islam or whatever the religious systems are. Those are have always been created and owned and maintained by Satan and Satanists. But in terms of real Christians, I don't think he's fooled anyone, because most of the real Christians are, that is, those who follow Jesus, the way, the truth. They follow him, and that would mean that they wouldn't affiliate with places that would blaspheme his name, like places that would do bait and switch Christianity, where you go in for Christ and they conform you to Satanism. They say, look what Jesus has done for you. That's not Christianity. That's blasphemy. And unfortunately, you look at TBN and these other places, sure, you can get something out of these people who say sermons, they'll say good things, they'll read from the Bible, they'll put on music, and you can get something out of it. Yes, I'm not saying that these people don't want to serve the Lord. I'm just saying the institutional speaking, most of these conservative Christian establishments have embraced Bush as the Christian president, and the reason they're deceived is because they're not actually deceived. Bush is the same spirit that they are. In other words, they're all on the same page, and they're wondering what's wrong with us. Now, the liberal Christians who are trying to, embrace Kerry, it's like, that's not going to work either, because you're dealing with two ring knockers, skull and bones guys, and you're dealing with two Satanists. If you don't like calling them Satanists, you could call them, if you like, those who are spiritually opposite of Christianity, or spiritually opposite of Yeshua. I don't like the word Christianity anymore because it's too broad of a term. It includes too many things.
Well, it includes basically the entire Vatican facade, where we have Jesuits leading ministries.
Yeah,
sold out to Lucifer. You have your Pat Robertson on TV trying to persuade people that the digital angel chip isn't the mark of the beast.
No, it's incredible, and the world is quite unbelievably incredible. It is completely backwards.
If Christians would wake up and stand up, all of these ministries would fold in a day because they wouldn't have money to operate.
If they would wake up, if people would wake up, there wouldn't be a satanic system.
Exactly. And we're supposed to sit here and let this happen and not say anything?
Well, I've said stuff, and when I first started saying it, people were scoffing. You now know what I get? Now what I get is they just look in horror.
Oh, you always have your scoffers that say, well, let Jesus handle it. Well, Jesus is calling up his people to do something about it.
Well, just,
Yeshua's not sitting down. He doesn't expect his people to sit down.
They'll have to just wait until the day of, poverty, when they're waiting in that food line, and then you say to them, hey, you still think, you're still saying let Jesus handle it now? Their kids are killed, sold into prostitution, wives are raped. You still going to let Jesus handle it, buddy? Huh? Is Jesus handling it now?
Yahushua had Noah build an ark.
And, all Yeshua would say is, Yahweh, the Father, he let his son die. Why should he give you a break? A lot of people think, well, if they slip in their paycheck or their job security or their 501k or something like that, the church shuns them because God's not smiling on them. It's like, excuse me, God let his only son die. God has let innocents die from the beginning. Yep. I'm not saying I understand why he does that, but I am saying that if you go into poverty or you get struck dead, it doesn't mean God's forsaken you. If your family is killed, it doesn't mean God's forsaken you. It means you do not understand God and why he does this.
Yeah, most people have a give me God concept. Give me, give me, give me.
Well, it's like, oh, you don't have protection. You must be demonically possessed. Or you went to see The Passion. You must be demonically possessed. Or you know, whatever it is. It's just all very, very, very difficult because it all thrives on ignorance. It all thrives on superstition. It all thrives on the old paganism that they overlay Christianity on top, but it's pagan.
Well, they don't understand the seriousness of how in your face it's become, because the beast prophets have so conditioned millions of people to not expect anything to happen here in America, that it's all going to come from over in Jerusalem or the EU and the Middle East, and that, you know, America isn't mentioned in prophecy, and they have so many people asleep. But they're never going to see it happening, and they're never going to be able to relate events that happen here as being the end-time events.
Well, no, they won't see that, and the only way they will wake up is if they have a genuine breaking and a genuine contrition, a genuine repentance, and a genuine humbling to where they finally go, I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I encourage people all the time to just get away from people and pray for the truth in all things to be revealed to them, from Yahweh himself, to go to him for the truth. Because so many people are being led astray by false prophets, false doctrines, false theologies, false religions. Well, my pastor doesn't say that. My pastor says this. That's one of my pet peeves to hear from people. That's what my pastor says.
How about this? False news.
Yeah,
false movies,
news.
False toys. False teachers in school. False tennis teachers. You know, false gas station attendants. I mean, everything is backwards. Everything is a nightmare. Nothing is real. Everything is... the only thing that is not confusing is the distraction or confusion itself. And so people go to the light. They go to the distraction. And they want to believe something. So they believe the news. They believe their teacher in school. They believe the guy on the street, you know, the guy in the corner.
Yeah.
They believe... they've got to believe in something, and they'll tell you, look, I've got to go with this because otherwise I would go insane, so I can't.
Well, 200,000 denominations, and everyone's saying that they're the right one. You know, well, Jesus isn't
we as humans are in sad straits, because I can't blame anyone for going to church. I went through the whole church system.
No, I did for years. I mean,
and I went through it all, and I got kicked out, and I got kicked out, and I didn't do anything wrong. I got kicked out for talking about Satanism. I got kicked out for the book I wrote called Lamb. Anyway, they all kicked me. In fact, they tried to kill me after one pastor read Lamb, and then they sabotaged my motorcycle. Why? Because after the guy got done reading, it was in manuscript form at the time. After he got done reading it, he said, "I didn't kill anybody. You got any names?" I said, "No, man, I didn't say that. I just wanted you to check the gospel mess, make sure I wasn't off on anything." Instead, I get a death curse on me.
Okay, so now both of your books, Glass Backwards and The Lamb, are both available on your site at zephnet.com. Any parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts, Sherry. Everybody out there, Sherry's doing an incredible job, and all of you support her. Go to her website, all her websites, and keep her in your prayers, because she's one courageous lady, and I thank you for having me on, Sherry.
Yeah, thank you, Zeph. And I hope everybody tonight at least learned something. You know, stay with the Lord. Keep your focus on the Lord. Get away from man. Just pray for the truth, for all things daily to be revealed to you by Yahweh directly himself. Amen. I'll talk to you next week, Saturday night, 8 p.m. EST.